A software engineer dreams of backyard aviation, but that dream almost turns to disaster. Will his training, or lack thereof, help him come out on top? November 15th, 2025. 4:34 in the afternoon. The weather is mild, the winds light out of the north-northwest. With a few hours of daylight left, Nathan is practicing paramotor taxi drills in his backyard. Nathan, a software engineer in Southwest Washington, has dreamed of launching a paramotor trike from his own backyard for almost 3 years. He's had formal training and plenty of practice in ground handling. What he doesn't have is much time in the air. His first and only flight so far came in the spring of 2024 in Idaho, under the eye of an instructor. Since then, Nathan picked up a used Bull X4T from a former paramotor school in Arizona. It needed some work, including a new fuel pump early on. He added a custom foot throttle, but kept the hand throttle for its kill switch. His wing is a Niviuk R-Bus 2, 32-meter, built for tandem trikes or heavy 4-stroke trikes like his. Nathan's yard is neither an ideal nor a terrible place to launch. 5 acres, but an irregular shape and a heavy tree line make direction a challenge. Across the street, power lines in 2 directions. Beyond them, taller trees. His ceiling is 2,000 feet. Above that lies the Portland Class C shelf. And he may share the sky with small traffic out of nearby Grove Field. In the last few months, Nathan discovered he could practice taxiing right there in his backyard, a breakthrough after 2 out-of-state training trips. He kept at it, even after a few run-ins with trees. He'd had several good inflations, but he did not yet know when the day would come to actually take to the air. There was no instructor in his ear, no one to tell him to abort or go, no one to talk him through it or steer him down to a soft landing. This afternoon, Nathan taxied 3 times. After 2 clean inflations, on the 3rd, he added thrust and began to leave the ground. This was his first unassisted flight. His craft climbed at 5 feet per second. With no deliberate steering, the trike turned left, pulled by the torque of the engine. At 47 feet, he crossed above the power lines across the street and kept rising. His only priority now was altitude, before he could even begin to think about how to fly the thing. Even past 100 feet, his feet felt like they were dangling just above the treetops. And his phone showed nothing but an error, where the Gaggle app should have been. No read on his altitude at all. Still reeling from the shock of being airborne, Nathan took hold of the controls and turned toward the wide, flat fields to the north. The app, still running, gave him a warning.
Warning, power lines ahead. Warning, power lines ahead.
His climb slowed as he neared 280 feet, despite steady pressure on the throttle.
I remember the frustration of that moment. I wanted more altitude for an added measure of safety, but the engine wouldn't respond.
At 280 feet, the engine sputtered and refused to climb any higher. From here, Nathan could only lose altitude. The sound carried a mile down the road to a retired Alaskan bush pilot.
About a mile off, when I heard this motor up high just sputtering, coughing, I knew that wasn't good. I told my wife I had to go see what was happening.
Nathan was sinking now, about 4 feet per second. He had to act. And inexperienced as he was quick to remember the training. If the engine is unreliable, glide to safety. Paramotor pilots are taught to fly as though the motor could quit at any moment. He wasn't sure he could make it back to his own yard. The power lines, so hard to see from above, stood between him and home. So he put it down, under power, in a neighboring field. Once down, he took stock. The wing seemed intact. He gathered it up and laid it over the fence. But the netting on the left side of the cage had been shredded by the propeller, and the console shaped like an eagle's head, had snapped off, left hanging by its wires. He held it in his lap. Now he had to get out of the field. Tall grass, ditches, barbed wire on every side. He managed to restart the engine and find a far corner with a break in the fence, out onto the road and around to recover his wing. The retired bush pilot arrived in his truck and helped haul the wing and the trike back to Nathan's place, just around the corner. No in-flight camera footage existed for this flight, but the flight recorder, handled by Gaggle, had completed successfully, even though it never showed on screen. From that data, Nathan could see exactly where his climb rate stalled and where it changed. Fuel delivery was the bottleneck, but it wasn't until he got underneath the trike that he found it, a pinched fuel line. Enough to idle and taxi, not enough to keep a 4-stroke climbing. The incident didn't discourage Nathan. He counts it a partial success because he finally got in the air. Since that day, Nathan has flown again, once from his local airport. Once more, from his own backyard. And finally, on July 1st, he both launched and returned to land in the same place, in his own backyard. Nathan's advice? If this sport interests you, get qualified instruction and check the small stuff. If you enjoyed the ride, like and subscribe to follow the journey. Coming up next, how to tell whether you can launch from your own backyard.